That. How you doing, guys? It's been another week. There's more gaming news to talk about, and we're here for you. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Digital Dive In, the proper gaming talk show, where we dive into the latest news in gaming every single week. Every week. Every week. It's getting old yet? I don't know.
No,
It's your boy, Mr. Monkey, and with me today again is SGK, also known as Saying God Kush.
looking at my dirty Twitter.
Of course he is. Uh, Today we're going to be talking about, you probably guessed it, whether you looked at the channel or looked at the title or you just clicked on this video at random. We're talking about the PlayStation State of Play that went down on Thursday at around 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. This is a fairly small event. It was only, I think, like 30 minutes. And they just gave us some updates on some games that were announced at the last State of Play, which was back in 2020. This is the first State of Play for 2021. And literally, it's just here to give us some updates on upcoming games. That's it. That's it. But I will say, it was a lot better than the Nintendo Direct. So much better. We actually got some game announcements, like legitimate game announcements, and the updates that we got weren't just, throwaway updates. They're like, hey, we're doing significant updates on these games, or hey, here's a gameplay trailer for this awesome game that's coming. So basically, we're just going to run through and talk about what we liked about the state of play, what we didn't like, and our favorite game that was not so much announced, but our favorite game that was shown at this state of play. So I'll let Jules talk about his favorite part of it. Well, do you want to start with favorite part or least favorite part first?
I guess least favorite part, since there wasn't really too much that impressed me.
All right, that's fair. Go for it. What was your least favorite part of the state of play 2021?
I gotta be honest, it was. I felt like a lot of these games were like throwaway titles. So my first one would probably be the Super Dodgeball game, KO. I mean,
Knockout,
no, don't get me wrong. Don't
Knockout
get me wrong. It
City.
looks interesting. It looks fun, but it doesn't look $60 worth. It
I
doesn't
don't
really
think it
even
is
look
going to
thirty
be sixty
dollars worth.
dollars. First of all, it's
I mean,
an
it doesn't
in,
even look
it's a
$30 worth.
it's by an indie title, so it's not going to be $60. I can tell you that much.
And like, I feel like they had to have known that it was going to be a very forgettable game in the sea of what's coming. Like, we already pretty much have a idea of what's coming for the next year or two based on the last E3s and all the other showcases in the last year or so. So, I feel like, it was kind of a throwaway title. And that was probably my least favorite part. What about you?
Well, I mean, just to touch on what you're saying about an unforgettable game, and in terms of what you're saying about the whole state of play in general, I mean,
Hmm.
the thing is, these are all exclusive titles to Sony. So
Right.
Sony right now, because the PlayStation 5 just released, the same thing that happened with the PlayStation 4, we're not going to see like a bunch of brand new games coming out for the PlayStation 5 yet. It's going to take a little bit. So they're trying to beef up their library, their PlayStation 5 library, with a bunch of indie games, which is what we had last time with the PlayStation 4. And I mean, Sony's also known for giving really good indie games as exclusives. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to be seeing a lot of these throwaway titles at first, but I mean, also not to mention a lot of the games that were announced at last E3, which was 2 years ago. Uh, a lot of those games were in super early development. We're not going to get those for years to come. Like the next God of War game, we're not getting. Well, I think we're getting that in 2022. I believe. I might be wrong about that.
I would say push back to 2023, to be honest. I would be
Yeah,
excited for
yeah.
that.
I'm honestly okay if they decide to push it back. 100%. Guys, if a developer pushes back a game, don't complain. All right, it's a good thing. That means they're taking their time to make it good.
Complain
But
if they take their time and it's still shit.
yeah, well, yeah. But then, like, we also have some games like the new Harry Potter game that is like in development limbo right now because development on the game is basically just halted completely because they
And they say
lost.
why.
They lost. I forget what I read, but they lost a lot of people who worked on the game.
The original
with
Foundation. Okay,
yeah, they lost a lot of people, and I'm not really sure why. I didn't read that much into the article. I just saw it today. I was like, oh
okay,
shit, because I know a
got
lot of
you.
people were really looking forward to that game.
So Dying Light syndrome. Got it.
Yeah, yeah. Even Dying Light. Dying Light is another development disaster right now because Techland is just taking forever with that game. But not even in a good way. Like I know they lost a lot of people from Techland as well. So, but yeah. So there's a lot of these games that are just taking a while, and other games that are like in trouble. So you gotta like beef up some. You gotta like hype up some of the indie games so players don't get bored waiting for these big AAA titles to come. But anyways, that's just my tangent, really quick. I would say my least favorite uh, part of the state of play. Um, I mean, I didn't really have a lot of like. There wasn't anything that I just hated. Honestly, I think if we're talking about my least favorite game that was announced, it's probably Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, because I am of the mind. I am of the community that just doesn't give a flying shit about Five Nights at Freddy's. I never found that game scary. I never found that game fun, and this game just looks weird. I'm just like,
A weird take
no.
as well.
And
Like I was
I
just like,
really don't get why it's so big with kids, because it's not a kids. I guess it's a kids game, but I wouldn't let my kid play this game. Like shit.
for kids, it's probably the scariest thing they could probably handle.
That's
You
fair.
know, like
This is,
I wouldn't sit them down and say, "Hey, for your first horror game, play Resident Evil 2." Like I wouldn't do that, but like Five Nights at
I
Freddy's,
would.
eh, you know, I feel like Sony always tries to have a balance between something that's good genre for something that's in the same genre that's
Yeah,
good
it's
for kids
fair.
and adults.
Yeah, I mean
So
we're getting a PlayStation 5 update for Crash 4, which they're actually reworking so you get to use the adaptive triggers, and that's kind of awesome. Um, they've actually been talking about like all the uses, or all like the controller uses that they're implementing for all these PS5 games, like the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers, all that stuff, and I think it's great. I love it. I love that these developers, even that when they're like kind of releasing just updates to the PlayStation 5 version, they're taking the controller into consideration, not just giving a graphical update. That's really really cool. Although that cannot be set. Oh no! Wait, what happened? What happened?
I don't know. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. What the hell? What is going on? Did my camera die? My camera died. What the fuck? I charged you. Are you kidding me? Is it gonna work? Um, there we go. Okay. So, sorry guys. Let me go back into here and make you full screen. I'll have to edit that out.
We should release a blooper reel every time you say I have to edit that out.
Yeah, right, for real. Sorry guys. I'm looking up here like my camera's here. My camera died. I swear to God, DSLR cameras, they are awesome, but oh my God, they die all the freaking time. I only have like an hour and a half battery life for this thing. Anyways, oh yeah, like I was gonna say, the that cannot be said for the um, what was it? The Final Fantasy VII PlayStation 5 update and
Yeah.
the integrate episode, whatever that they're releasing for Yuffie and Sonon. Cool. I honestly really hope we just get Final Fantasy VII Remake for free with PlayStation Plus here soon, so I don't have to pay for it, because it looks like a really fun game, but I don't feel like paying for it.
I played the demo. I'll be honest.
A lot of people
It
love
was
it.
something lost in translation. Like you have your Final Fantasy VII purists, and then you have the
I never
people
played
that
the original, so I
I feel like so they have like this whole mixed base system where it's like you have traditional turn based mixed with real
yeah, I saw
time
that.
action, and
It
it just
looked
kind
like it
of
worked for kind of.
so
It was
like the problem
interesting.
is when you just on a super short tangent, whenever you like do a like a special move and there's a cutscene behind it, you
Mm-hmm.
can often miss because it's in real time and you're trying to,
Yeah,
and
I
then
can see
often
that.
it misses. So
That's
and
a
then the
pain.
switching characters at the same time, it's just a lot to do, and
That's fair.
sometimes things just get lost.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
But anyway,
But yeah, with the PlayStation 5 update for Final Fantasy 7, we're not they didn't mention anything about implementing the controller features, and that's kind of a disappointment. But anyways, what was your favorite thing about this state of play?
no, I'm sure we're going to agree on one of them. I'm definitely interested in Returnal. It
Yo,
definitely
Returnal
looked
looks dope.
interesting.
Returnal looks really
Um,
good.
they were just the way I guess they were just like it's a super mysterious story. You get a distress signal from this planet, and I'm just like, story wise, it doesn't seem like the most hype shit ever. It doesn't seem that
Yeah,
crazy, but
yeah.
like I'm sure there's, and it's funny because they're just like death is not only the beginning. So I'm like, all right, you're ripping off of other games. I got you.
Well, I
Then
mean,
you got a loss of
I
memory.
wouldn't say they're ripping off other games. I mean, the whole death is not the end is a very common mechanic in a lot of games, especially lately. I don't understand. Well, I'm gonna let you finish with your favorite things because I'm pretty sure I know what your second favorite thing is, and that takes me into my whole little tangent. So go ahead.
Okay. Oh
So
yeah. Oh,
go
so
ahead.
my next favorite thing is gonna be Deathloop. I
Told you.
love Deathloop. Um, that so I'm a very big fan of FPS, but like so far there hasn't been really a lot announced for PS5. There was a couple that I was really interested in, like that and Hellsinger, and we could talk about that in another video. But
Yeah.
Deathloop particularly was going to be my Doom Eternal for PS5. Play till it's done, like just rip and tear, like just do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks really amazing.
It does
So,
look really good.
um. I can't wait for that, but I still have to get a PS5, so there's that.
Yes. Yeah. No.
Anyway,
No.
yeah, go
My
ahead.
little thing was like, for some reason, uh, dungeon crawlers have been on the rise lately, especially in mainstream gaming. Like, it used to be like dungeon crawlers were just like these little indie games, typically mobile games, just because they're easier to
I
do in
mean,
mobile.
yeah,
But we
Diablo
saw,
that really kind of blew it up.
yeah, yeah, Diablo, but that wasn't even like the traditional dungeon. Well, I guess that was a classic dungeon crawler, but it wasn't like dungeon crawlers like we're seeing now.
Yeah,
You know,
with like
because
Control or something like that, where like you're in one building,
yeah.
but it's like ever changing, and it's
Well,
just like
I wouldn't even call Control a dungeon crawler because, well, at least not like the modern style of dungeon crawler. Because like what
right.
we've been seeing lately, like for example, Hades, where you play through, you get as far as you can, and if you die, you start the entire thing over, and the areas change every single time. So the only way to beat the game is if you do it no deaths all the way through, or if you get like a power up that allows you to
A
come back.
roguelike.
Yeah, well, yeah. But
Yeah,
that's still a dungeon crawler, technically,
yeah,
because, well, yeah. I mean, for
and that almost got
one,
Game of the Year.
yeah, I know exactly. One of the dungeon crawlers I play on my phone is called Soul Knight, and it's literally
Okay.
that you just go through levels. Or
Mhm.
what was that indie dungeon crawler that they came out with for PlayStation 4 that we got for free? Um, Not Edith Finch. It was a really creepy one where you fought like babies and shit. Like it was like 8-bit, not 8-bit, like 64-bit. But I forget the name of it.
Damn,
I'll
I
have to
don't
look back.
remember.
It was a
Yeah.
really, really good game. Really
Oh my
great game.
god.
But anyways, now we're seeing Returnal, which is essentially the same style. Like you die, you come back, and then everything's different and you go through. However, Returnal honestly reminds me a lot of Dead Space. Like a lot of Dead Space. But you move
Yeah,
faster.
say more like Dead Space 3. It doesn't really
Yeah.
have the horror aspect of Dead Space 1. I would
No, it
never
does.
play
It
Dead
does.
Space
It does.
1.
Oh, I fucking love Dead Space. I love all those games. But no, it doesn't have like the super horror element. It has. It actually reminds me more of Dead Space meets Control because you get like the
Yeah,
psychological element of it, but you also get
yeah.
like the kind of psychological horror that's in both games. The
And then
combat
the
looks a little bit more similar
Returnal.
to Dead Space, but yeah, I don't know. Returnal looks really, really, really cool. I love psychological thriller games, so I'm really hyped for that one. But then and also Deathloop is I guess you could also call a dungeon crawler just because, or roguelike game because you die, you come back, you start the whole shit over again.
Thing over again.
And so many games are doing the whole death is not the end, death is only the beginning. I'm just like, okay, we get it. You die, you
I
come
think it's
back.
because
Jesus Christ.
they're trying to make games more accessible where you don't feel like a complete loser for losing. Like, you know what
I
I mean?
know, but it's like I don't know.
You got something like Dark Souls where you
That
die, they're
whole
like, "Ha ha,
yeah right. Get
you
good, scrub.
died."
But no, like they use that whole phrase, death is not the end, death is only the beginning,
Yeah.
like so much. I'm just like, pick a
Hmm.
new phrase, like God. But
I
anyways,
thought I was like, all right, I'm gonna check
no.
that off on the copyright.
Honestly, my favorite game that was announced at this state of play, and it was actually a brand new game that was announced, was Sifu. One, because they opened up with a dope ass hallway fight scene, and if you've ever seen, you know, popular hallway fight scenes like in Daredevil or
Johnny Wick.
John Wick for that, but like Daredevil has one of the most iconic hallway fight scenes, and it's
I love
so good.
Daredevil.
It's so
Such a
good,
good movie.
and this one just opened up like that, and I was like, oh shit! And again, kind of, I don't know if it's a dungeon crawler or not because they see you die and then you come
No,
back,
yeah,
but
we just saw like fight scenes.
we saw
And
you.
and for those who haven't seen it, it's spelled Sifu. In case you want
Well,
to search it up.
yeah, that's how you spell Sifu.
I mean, you could spell it Seefu or Se.
What kind of weeaboo
If
are
you want to
you?
be, if you want to be weird, Mortal Kombat spelled with a K, sir.
That's fair.
People spell weird things for video
But no,
games.
Sifu in general, it looks like you die. When you die, you age, and then you come back older. I don't know if that's actually how it works, but that's how it looked in the trailer. Because like he goes through, he starts off like a young dude, then he dies, and he wakes up with like a beard and slightly older, like 10 years older or something like that. And then by the end of the trailer, he's like this white-haired sage dude who's just kicking ass. I'm just like, oh my god, this looks so good. And I'm a sucker for martial arts games. Okay, I loved Absolver when that game came out. It was
Reminded me
lit.
of
It was
Absolver.
what?
I was gonna say, yeah, it reminded me of Absolver.
Yeah, it did. Absolver was very limited in what it had, the content it had, and everything for the free version of it. But it was still really, really cool that you could like build your own martial art style.
Mhm.
And this one doesn't really look like that in depth. But I love martial arts games. This one looks like real martial arts. Kind of actually reminded me of the fighting style of Sleeping Dogs. So I
Yeah.
am 100% all here for it. It looks dope. The art style is gorgeous, and I cannot wait for that game to come out. I don't remember when it's coming out, but it's made by Slow Clap. I forget what other games they've made, but it looks
So I
awesome.
mean, I'm kind of on the fence about it just because we don't have any other context outside of the fighting,
True, we
which
just got a
it
cinematic
looks really
trailer.
great.
We just got a
You
cinematic
know,
trailer. It's just an announcement trailer, and either way, I'm hyped.
I mean that's better. Like I really short tangent pet peeves. Cinematic trailers for your first trailer. Just like, all
I
right, that's
mean,
great
that's
that the graphics
common.
are
That's the
nice.
thing. That's common though. Like you can't really do much else for an announcement trailer.
I mean, yeah, you're right. But you know, if
I
you're
mean,
going to announce something that's
what are you
coming out
gonna do?
relatively soon,
Show us like whatever gameplay you have, which is probably like
people do
horrible.
that too nowadays. They do pre-alpha footage. You know, like pre-alpha
Yeah,
footage.
when
You
they're
know, like
actually there. This is an announcement trailer. This is like, hey, we have started development on this game. This is what we're going for. Let's go. My
the
only
thing.
issue is when they rush it and the end result looks nothing like the original trailer. I'm like, okay, that's just dumb. Case and point. Mass Effect Andromeda, Anthem, and I guess you could say Cyberpunk, maybe. There's a lot in the
People
original
were
trailer
hyped.
that wasn't in the game, but then
Mhm.
again, that game was also in development for 7 years, so you know. But anyways,
I mean, case in point, you also have games like Death Stranding where nobody knew what it was like for like 2 years, and then they finally come out with a demo, and it's just like, oh, it's just glorified traveling, or it's just this, or it's just
yeah, but
that.
the
Like
game
we
is
had people on
strangely.
the fence,
This game is strangely
you know.
satisfying. Like it's actually like if you have like an afternoon to just kill, it is the best game ever because it's real time traveling. It takes fucking forever. There's stealth elements, and there's some combat too that you want to avoid at all costs because it makes you nervous as fuck. But it's just so satisfying to just go. Just start walking or driving. It's just like, yes, this is wonderful. I love this. It's just weird. I don't know.
Cinematic trailers can be very deceiving. That's all I'm gonna
That's
say.
very true. Guys, what do you think? I'm looking at the camera like it's here. Guys, what did you think of the first state of play of 2021? What was your favorite thing? What was your least favorite thing? What do you think do you like these state of plays? Do you like these kind of updates to games that are coming out soon? Let us know whatever you're thinking in the comment section below. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you liked it, again, share it with all your friends. Share it with your grandparents. Share it with your strange cousins out in California. I don't know why I'm doing that accent for California. But we're on the East Coast, they're on the West Coast. You know, just share
We
it.
just lost half our
everywhere.
subscribers.
Yep, there you go. Hey, if that is what makes us lose half our subscribers, our subscribers are weak. I do much weirder shit on this channel. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay excellent. I'll see you guys in the next video.